All right, so for news today, since it's been a while, a lot of things going on. What we're going to do is we're going to go through all of the larger news stuff and maybe only that, and then catch up on Friday with everything else. See where we are on time. Would like to not have it more than an hour-long news video. So we're just going to go do the big stuff, and then on Friday we'll do whatever new big stuff there is, as well as the smaller stuff and the chat picks. Maybe. Probably. We'll see. So let's get this show on the road. Starting off with clicking things, making sure I'm on the right window. I'm just going to go down the list, straight down the list. We're just going to go from top to bottom, how I have it here. First, talking about Monster Hunter Wilds. First thing, microtransactions. So when we talked a little bit about this when we were playing the game last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. This is Jordan Midler VGC. So character editing is locked behind microtransactions. So Monster Hunter Wilds locks the ability to change the physical features of player characters and palette ghosts behind microtransactions. Released a couple weeks ago, and we played it, I think, a week late. So you can create your character perfectly fine. Let's move over here. You can create the character perfectly fine, but if you want to change it, any major features later on, you have to pay. So there's a character edit voucher. 3 voucher pack is available now on digital storefronts for around $6. I think you do get one free one, I believe you get, but any future ones, it's $6 to edit your character later on. This gives the players the option to change the physical appearance of characters, essentially redoing the character creation process. Without this item, players can still edit the hair, eyebrow color, facial color, makeup, and clothing of their characters, but if they want larger changes, they have to purchase this item. The same is true for players' companions, the Palico. You can purchase 3 vouchers to edit your Palico for $6. So editing you or your Palico, $6. I guess you could just redo the character, but then you have to redo the game. You have to redo all the missions, and why would anyone want to do that? That will allow you to edit both your character and your Palico 3 times for $10. So $10 to do both. Capcom is offering 1 free token to redo both your character and your Palico, but after this, players will have to pay every time when they want to change the physical appearance of their hunter. These options, along with the other microtransactions offerings made available for Monster Hunter Wilds, were not available to test during the review period. However, they were mentioned on social media last week, or 3 weeks ago from now. But a huge start for the game. It's doing pretty good numbers. The next one is about concurrent players. The first initial release period. $6 in this economy is a whole meal from Wendy's. Just so everyone knows. Capcom's game also hit a peak of nearly 1.4 million, putting it 5th in Steam's all-time charts. For the first time in history, more than 40 million people were playing games on Steam this weekend, which was 2 weekends ago when the game came out. The total number of concurrent Steam users hit a peak of 40 million players. Not only the highest peak ever recorded, but also the first time the peak has crossed 40 million concurrent users. A notable portion of these users were playing Monster Hunter Wilds, which hit a peak of more than 1.38 million players on Saturday. So 40 million people on Steam because of Monster Hunter Wilds releasing for PC immediately, which is crazy. This made it the 8th game in Steam's history to ever pass 1 million concurrent players and put it 5th in its all-time charts of highest all-time peak reached by a single game, bettering the likes of Elden Ring, Cyberpunk 2077, and Dota 2. Still has some way to go. Beat all-time concurrent peaks of Counter-Strike 2, 1.6 million, Pal World, 2.1 million. That's wild. Black Myth Wukong, 2.4, which is super impressive. And PUBG, 3.2 million. PUBG was such a phenomenon when that came out. I cannot believe people are still playing it though. Despite its overwhelming initial success on Steam, the PC version of Monster Hunter Wilds continues to have mixed response from players complaining about its performance. The game currently has mixed reviews on Steam, with only 57% of the game, percent of the more than 56,000 users reviews on the service market as positive. The optimization is not great. Can confirm, but I think they are working on it. And we didn't even download any like resolution mods or anything like that. Next thing, so Monster Hunter's series producer is being put in charge of all Capcom's development divisions. So Monster Hunter's been such a success that the producer, Ryozo Tsujimoto, will be promoted to Chief Product Officer next month. That's crazy. In a statement made by the company announcing various new personnel changes, it stated that Executive Corporate Officer Yoichi Egawa will be resigning as of April 1st and stepping down from his role as Chief Product Officer in charge of Capcom's development divisions and pachinko business. He's in charge of the pachinko business? That's so funny. He's been at Capcom since 1996, where he joined directly after graduating from university, while he was originally given planning roles on arcade games such as Battle Circuit. What is this? Battle Circuit Tech Romancer? It would be his work on Monster Hunter that would come to define his career. Working as a planner on the first Monster Hunter PS2 and PSP port, Monster Hunter Freedom, Tsujimoto went on to produce Monster Hunter Tri, Freedom 2, and Portable Third. Since held senior producer or executive producer roles on every major Monster Hunter game, including as senior producer on World, Rise, and Wilds. World will go on to sell more than 25 million units worldwide, making Capcom's best-selling game of all time. World was his best-selling game of all time. That game was a thing. Its successor, Monster Hunter Rise, sold more than 15 million. The latest game in the series, Monster Hunter Wilds, looks set to enjoy equally impressive sales numbers, hitting a peak of nearly... Yeah, we talked about the peak. I'm pretty sure Wilds will sell more than Rise, because so far, definitely plays a lot better. It's way more fun. That'll conclude our Monster Hunter segment for today. So Monster Hunter doing pretty good, except for the microtransaction stuff, obviously. So there have been some layoffs at PlayStation. PlayStation's Visual Arts and Malaysia studios have reportedly suffered many layoffs. This is Chris Scullion, BGC. So Sony has laid off a number of developers at PlayStation's Visual Arts studio and its Malaysian support studio, with a new report suggesting many staff are affected. Former PlayStation Visual Arts project manager Abby Lamaster posted a message on LinkedIn stating that many people from the Visual Arts group had lost their job that day. The quote is, "It was tough waking up to messages that my friends and former coworkers from PSVA were laid off this morning. She now works at Riot Games." So that's pretty cool. The layoffs today hit hard. PSVA let go of developers with decades of subject matter expertise, talent that will be extraordinarily difficult to recoup. This industry can be unpredictable, but the skill, experience, and passion of the people I worked with at PSVA are undeniable. Didn't say how many people. Located in San Diego, though. First party studio animations. Namiya Gaming reported that layoffs have also taken place at the Kuala Lumpur based PlayStation Studio Malaysia, which was founded in 2020 as a support studio to work alongside the visual arts team. So that whole section of PlayStation Studios was laid off. This is the latest in a series of layoffs being carried out by PlayStation in recent years, something that has been affecting the games industry as a whole. A year ago, it was confirmed that Sony's PlayStation department was laying off around 900 employees worldwide, around 8% of its entire 8% is so much of its entire workforce. In January, it was reported that Sony had canceled a live service game being worked on by Bend, as well as other development at Blue Point Games. Yes. So Sony taking a lot of losses. I wonder if there was some sort of giant game that was released and then delisted immediately. Again, we're just going down the list here, not any particular order. So we might be jumping around in terms of like category of story. So next up, there's an update about the Fragpunk game. So NetEase offers compensation after last-minute console delay for hero shooter Fragpunk. This is Tom Ivan, BGC. PC version of Fragpunk will still release this week, but its console launch has been pushed back. So Marvel Rivals publisher NetEase has announced a last-minute console delay for Fragpunk. Will the game still be released on PC March 6th? Did that actually get released? Let's find out real fast. Looks like it is released and free to play. I forgot about the card system in this game. There is in fact a card system. Hey, maybe we'll try this. It is free to play. We could try this. Maybe one day. Announcing the delay on X, the Fragpunk team said it had encountered unexpected technical challenges in optimization and adaptation during the console compliance testing process. Rather than rushing the console release and providing a potentially poor user experience, we have made the difficult decision to delay the launch of the console version to ensure that players receive a comparable experience to those on PC. Now, has it released on console yet? No, it has not released yet, and there's no set date. So as of now, it still has not been released for console. We understand that the delays are frustrating, and we sincerely apologize for the wait. As a gesture of appreciation, we have prepared compensation for both Xbox and PlayStation players, especially those who supported us through pre-orders. Customers who pre-ordered the game on consoles will also receive in-game currency worth $10 when the game is released for PS5, Xbox Series X and S. Before the pre-orders on Xbox and PlayStation will be canceled, and the refund process will be automatically initiated by the platform holders. Okay. And then pre-order bonuses will also be made available in time-limited way once the console versions are available. This delay was not an easy decision, but we are committed to delivering the best possible experience for our players, and this additional time will allow us to fully optimize and polish the console versions for launch. So kudos to them for not just releasing it broken and stuff, but hopefully when they do release it, it's still not broken and stuff. Only time will tell, but maybe we'll try it out one of these days. Next, Moon Studios is going fully independent. Chris calling VGC. Moon Studios says it's now a fully independent studio after securing the publishing rights to its game No Rest for the Wicked from Take-Two. Moon initially announced No Rest for the Wicked, its third game after Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, back in December 2023, and the game was then released in Steam Early Access in April of last year. Early Access release was published by Private Division, the Take-Two label specializing in publishing games from smaller developers. When Take-Two sold Private Division in November of last year, the buyer also purchased almost all of Private Division's existing and unreleased games. The key exception to this was No Rest for the Wicked, which Take-Two said wasn't part of the deal because it wanted to continue to support it. However, Moon Studios said it was now fully independent, stating they have secured the publishing rights for No Rest for the Wicked, allowing us to execute our vision without restrictions. During one of its Wicked Inside presentations, the studio also announced that the game would be getting a major update called The Breach, which will be released April 30th, the game's biggest update to date. That's pretty cool. A little bit of a reprieve in the industry where instead of a studio completely getting shut down, they've gone independent, which might be them dodging a bullet, because usually when separate studios get sold or bought off, the new owners just love to start shutting shit down and canceling shit. So we'll see what happens with the buyer of Private Division. I don't think they said who bought it here. Who bought Private Division? Haveli Investments then made a deal with former Annapurna Interactive staff. Interesting. We shall see exactly what happens with that. Seems only slightly sus. Next one, voice actors fighting AI. We love this. I think we're gonna have a run of AI stories here. Chris Gulling, VGC. So angry voice actors accuse indie studio of trying to replace their work with AI voices. So Serene Questworks' upcoming adventure game Castle of Secrets will make use of AI voices rather than those of voice actors originally cast, according to two performers. Voice actor Mika Narita posted a message on Twitter claiming that they were cast for the game, but then discovered that the studio wanted to apply AI tool. My fucking cable. Wanted to apply an AI tool to add new voices to their recorded lines, essentially turning their performances into multiple characters performed by different actors. They said on the post, "Hey voice actors, put a finger down if you were able to be in a video game, but the devs decided that they wanted to use the AI trained voices over your takes for 4,000 plus lines, then decided they too can not only you, but there's a typo in there somewhere. Every voice actor they had, refusing other talent on board." Oh, okay. Posted a screenshot, which later confirmed to be from another of the game's voice actors, Ian Mitchell, showing that he had been banned from the game's Steam community forum for personal hostility to the project and imposing their position. This is wild. Mitchell led that the AI tool being planned wasn't just a voice filter, but instead makes you sound like a different person completely, to save on costs of different voice actors, even though the voice actors who auditioned could do a massive range of voices for them. We asked them to just let us voice act instead of letting the computer do it for us. When submitting games to Steam, developers are now required to disclose whether their games use any form of generative AI and risk being removed from the store if they're found to be using it without confirmation. Gross. All this is gross. I don't know what other games Serene Quest works. There's no... that must be their first game because there's no wiki for them. So that's pretty annoying. Follow up on that. The voice actress for Aloy is getting a little annoyed with the AI stuff as well. This is Jordan Midler, VGC. Bum, bum, bum. So, Aloy actor reacts to AI-powered leak. I'm worried for this art form. Ashley Birch has said that she's worried about the future of video game performances as an art form following the release of a video that appeared to be an AI-generated version of Birch's character Aloy. This week, a video surfaced that appeared to be an AI-performed double of Aloy, Birch's character from the Horizon series. The video, which seemingly wasn't meant for public consumption, caused a storyline, especially in light of the current SAG-AFTRA strike against the style of AI performance. So she responded saying, I wanted to talk about AI Aloy. I saw the tech demo earlier this week. Guerrilla reached out to let me know that the demo didn't reflect anything that was actively in development. They didn't use any of my performance for the demo, none of my facial or voice data. Guerrilla owns Aloy as a character. But they're basically putting you out of a job. I feel worried, and not worried about Guerrilla specifically or Horizon or my performance or my career specifically, even when I feel worried about this art form game performance. Huh? We are currently on strike. SAG-AFTRA is currently on strike against video games because of AI. Because this technology exists, and because we know that game companies want to use it, we're asking for protections. SAG-AFTRA currently offers interim agreements between actors and employers, which are vetted by the union, and if approved, allow them to perform the role while strike action is ongoing. I feel worried not because the technology exists, not even because game companies want to use it, because of course they want to use technological advancements. I just imagine a video like this coming out that doesn't have someone's performance attached to it, that does have someone's voice or face movement, and the possibility that if we lose this fight, that person would have more recourse. So that's pretty wild. I mean, it's also entirely possible that because of the strike, they're using AI to like do mock-ups of stuff, but that's giving them a huge benefit of the doubt, because like they could also just be testing it to say, hey, maybe we don't need them at all, and that would really suck. More AI stuff with Xbox this time. We talked a little bit about it the last time we did news. Chris calling BGC. Now they have an AI that helps you finish games instead of an AI that helps make backwards compatible games. This AI helps you play games. So it's basically integrating Copilot into whatever game that you're playing. So this video is the video with this is kind of like nuts. I watched a few snippets of this clicking around.
The only podcast that comes to you from inside Xbox. I'm Ethan, and today we are digging
demoing
into the
what you could do
to the Xbox platform, including AI, Xbox Play Anywhere, Cloud,
with this AI.
and more. We have Fatima Kardar and Jason Ronald here as our experts on all things
perfect.
AI
Overwatch.
and the Xbox platform.
Like really, it was exploring these things. Maybe we should take a look. That might.
Yeah, we got a video. I'd love to take a look.
This is so
Xbox
cringe.
Copilot prepares you for the competition.
Oh no, Echo is taken already. What should I play now?
Echo's taken, but Cassidy would be a solid pick with this team. His mid-range hit scan and Mercy's damage boost will work great on Ilio's ruins. Plus, you've done great with him on this.
So the person playing Overwatch is like, oh man, I like playing Echo, but someone took it. Hey, computer, what character should I play?
Map before.
And the AI Copilot is giving suggestions. Oh, here's a clip of me doing great. You only got 2 people with your ult. That's it. And then you missed all your shots.
Xbox Copilot helps you during the downtime.
How did I die so fast?
Hey, how did he die so
Stayed in
fast?
the fight too long after your teammates were down. Great picks with your ultimate, but diving straight into Ramatra was a death sentence. Next time, retreat to regroup with your team.
Why are you asking Copilot how you died so fast when there's a kill cam after you die? You can literally see what happened.
Yep. Xbox Copilot is there when you have questions.
Whoa, what just happened?
How do you not
Sombra
know what
hacked
just
you,
happened?
disabling your abilities, then melted you with her machine pistol. To counter her, stay near Kariko for a quick Suzu
Kariko.
cleanse or move unpredictably to make hacking harder.
That Sombra is annoying me a lot. I think it's time to switch heroes.
Good call. Soldier 76 could work well here, since you can pressure Sombra at range and self-heal to survive her engages. Stay with your team and keep an eye on flanks.
Incredible to kind of see that.
Incredible.
Like, I was immediately surprised with the depth.
Incredible. And then there's a part about Minecraft. This is so insane. This is so wild.
A very known and loved game in my household as well. So maybe we should kind of consider, like,
Oh,
we
got
have
another
a video for that as
Yeah,
well.
let's take a look.
Oh my god.
Okay, this is my first time playing
Fucking audio quality. This is so bad too.
Minecraft. What should I do first?
Start by punching a tree to collect wood.
This voice is
Okay,
is
I've
like
got
too
some
human-like.
tree wood.
I don't
what
like
do
it.
I do with that?
Craft the oak logs into wooden planks by opening your inventory and placing the logs in the crafting area.
Okay, I've got some planks.
This is so
Now,
much longer than
craft
just
a
like
crafting table by placing 4
doing-
wooden planks
just do
in
it.
a 2x2 square in the crafting area.
or read something. This is so much longer. It's so much more time consuming to
Next-
wait for the AI to
Where's my
fucking
crafting
explain everything.
table?
Hey, where's my crafting table?
Your crafting table is not in your inventory. You may need to craft a new one or find it at the previous location.
Can you tell me how to get to the previous location?
Oh my god.
I can't provide directions, but you can try
Hey,
Directions.
this is so nuts.
I can't provide directions because cheats are not enabled
Cheats are not enabled. Oh, and then he's gonna enable
right
cheats.
next to you, but a few blocks lower.
Hey, where's
You last saw coal ore
Where's
right
coal?
next to you, but a few blocks lower.
Like,
this is so
love seeing the
guys, this is so gross. It's so gross. Stop it. Make AI take out my fucking garbage, not help me play Minecraft. Like, what the fuck? Do my dishes. What are you doing? I hate it. And I hope you do too. Anyway, let's talk about Pokemon Go being sold to Monopoly Go. This is Jordan Midler, VGC. So, Niantic and their game section is being sold to Scopely for $3.5 billion. So, Monopoly Go now owns Pokemon Go. Huh. Why would they sell? Pokemon Go is so popular still. I don't understand. Huh? So Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter Now, and the rest of Niantic's games business is being sold to Monopoly Go maker Scopely. The acquisition will see longtime Niantic game studio leaders Kei Kawai and Ed Wu joining Scopely to continue to oversee the developers' various projects. It's a $3.5 billion deal. It boasts over 30 million monthly active users. 30 million monthly active users is still a lot across Pokemon Go, Monster Hunter Now, and Pikmin Bloom, and more. Scopely has always been focused on cultivating meaningful communities through a shared love of play, and the Niantic Games organization is one of the best in the world at this endeavor, said Tim O'Brien, Chief Revenue Officer and board member of Scopely. We are extremely inspired by what the team has built over the last decade, delivering innovative experiences that captivate a vast, enduring global audience and get people out in the real world. We look forward to further accelerating the team's creativity through our partnership. I believe there was a follow-up to this recently where a lot of people were concerned that they might add ads and more microtransaction stuff into Pokemon Go, and then I think that the developers of the game directly said, as of right now, there's for sure 100% no plans to do any ads or anything like that in the games. But who knows? They are not owned by the same company anymore, so that shit could change in a heartbeat, and that would suck. Moving on. Is Netflix done with games? They seem to be pulling out of everything. This is Chris Scully in VGC. So Netflix Games' first boss has reportedly left the company months after switching roles to focus on AI. The Netflix executive who was tasked with creating the company's gaming division has reportedly left the company. Former EA and Facebook executive Mike Verdu joined Netflix in August 2021 and was tasked with leading the streaming service's expansion into the video game marketplace. And they did we'll go through it, but they made a huge push, did a lot of stuff, and then it seems to have just abandoned everything. Verdu stepped down from his role last year and took on the new role of VP Gen AI for games, which he described as driving a once-in-a-generation inflection point for game development and player experiences using generative AI. However, according to journalist Steven Totillo, via his Game File newsletter, Verdu has now left Netflix entirely. The news was reportedly confirmed to Totillo by Netflix representative. When he left his leadership role last year, he was replaced by Alan Taskin, the former executive vice president of game development at Epic Games. Since Taskin's arrival, Netflix has started making widespread changes to its video game arm, including shutting down numerous aspects of it in an attempt to reorganize the interactive side of the business. In October, Netflix shut down its AAA studio known as Team Blue after spending the past couple of years acquiring a number of veteran developers to join it. These include former Overwatch executive producer Chaco Sani, Halo veteran Joseph Staten, and former Sony Santa Monica art director Raph Grassetti. All three reportedly left Netflix after the studio was closed down. The following month, it then removed almost all of its interactive specials, which played out like branching stories with players making decisions to progress the story in various directions. 20 of its 24 interactive specials were removed by December 1st. Last month, it was reported that Netflix had also laid off multiple staff at Night School Studio, the development team best known for the Oxenfree games. Night School Studios was acquired by Netflix back in 2021, becoming the first game developer to be acquired by the streaming service. So how annoying is that for them specifically? Where Oxenfree, who was doing pretty good, joins Netflix and then just gets shut down without even really doing anything at all. Despite these actions, Netflix still appears to be committed to including games as parts of its service, releasing mobile title Squid Game Unleashed, and it's recently announced plans to bring the WWE 2K series to mobile as a Netflix exclusive. I don't think any of that's actually going to happen and be sustainable. There's no way. They've completely abandoned all the stuff that made them semi-legitimate. I don't know what they're thinking. It's what a waste of time that was. But anyway, moving on. We're moving at a clip here. The game Star Wars Hunters is going to be shutting down. Chris Scully, VGC. It hasn't even been out a year, and it's being shut down already. What a shame. Zynga has announced that it will be shutting down Star Wars Hunters, despite the game only having come out last summer. The free-to-play PvP arena combat game was released on June 4th, 2024 on Nintendo Switch, iOS, and Android, and was set between the events of Star Wars Episode 6 and 7. Released to mixed feedback from critics, however, the Switch version receiving a Metacritic score of 57. It's not great. Game didn't take off as expected, which is why Zynga has now announced that the game's final content update will be released on April 15th, following a complete shutdown of its servers on October 1st. They said thank you for your incredible support and for being part of the world of Vespara. After careful consideration, we want to let you know that the final content update for Star Wars Hunters on all platforms will be April 15th. The game will remain playable until October 1st, when the game's online servers will be shut down. We understand this news might be disappointing and want to assure you that the decision was not made lightly. Your passion, it's all the same bullshit that everybody says. Unfortunate, I don't know what they thought. This was a like RTS game, right? I forgot exactly. It's a PvP arena combat. I don't remember what this game looked like at all, honestly. Let's find out. There's an IGN review that we will mute, but watch. Really, really cool CG stuff here. Oh, this doesn't look good at all. This looks like a cartoon, and not in a good way. It's like an Overwatch, but with Star Wars. Oh, it looks so clunky and slow. I mean, it is made for mobile, so. Yeah, I mean, this actually, like, if they put full AAA money into this, they might have had something here. I'm for the idea. I mean, Marvel Rivals did great. It's just Marvel Overwatch. Star Wars Overwatch might have been a lot of fun. It's unfortunate. Well, again, there's always closures and layoffs every week. But there's a new PlayStation studio being created. Dark Outlaw Games, with the COD Zombies lead. This is Jordan Miller, VGC. Sony has formed a new first-party studio within PlayStation Studios. Dark Outlaw Games comes from studio head and director Jason Blundell. Former Treyarch co-studio head Blundell was one of the lead creators of Call of Duty Zombies mode before leaving Activision in 2020. After 13 years, he would then serve as one of the co-founders of Deviation Games. Deviation Games didn't get a chance to release its debut project, an original IP that was said to be exclusive to PlayStation. In an interview with Jeff Gertzman, Blundell confirmed that the new studio is staffing up and that he would have more to share on the studio's first project in the future. I've had the amazing opportunity to create a new studio within PlayStation Studios for Sony. The studio is called Dark Outlaw. We've been working away in the shadows for a while. When we've got something to talk about, we'll step out into the light. It's such a privilege to be able to do it with Sony as a new first-party studio. Sony doesn't start up first-party studios all the time, so to have that privilege is humbling. So this is pretty exciting. Hopefully it's horror-based. Hopefully it's zombie-based. And that would be a lot of fun. If they do just an all-out like COD Zombies kind of game, separate from COD, that'd be a lot of fun. Honestly, a lot of fun. Like a new, you know, Left 4 Dead, then Back 4 Blood, and then maybe something new and completely different, but kind of the same genre. Next up, Ubisoft is hiring lawyers in preparation for the Assassin's Creed Shadows backlash and harassment. Chris Scully, VGC. So Ubisoft has lawyers and social media surveillance group prepared for the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows, according to a new report. After numerous delays, the game is finally set to release on March 20th, so it released, but has been subject to more than its fair share of controversy since it was originally announced. The most notable talking about is the co-protagonist Yasuke, a black samurai. Some have accused Ubisoft of being woke by featuring Yasuke in the game, even though Yasuke was an actual person in real life. But also, who cares? It's a video game. Games director Charles Benoit, I don't know, has defended the decision, previously telling the Canadian press that Yasuke was also chosen so that players can discover Japan through the eyes of a foreigner at the same time as he does. Nevertheless, the decision has led to anger from some sections of the video game community, which has reportedly led to Ubisoft making preparations for potential harassment incidents that may occur after the game is released. According to French publication BFM TV, Ubisoft has put in place a system designed to protect its employees, with one staff member reportedly telling the publication, "We are advised not to post on social media that we work at Ubisoft to avoid harassment." So what an insane thing that needs to be done to fucking nerds that can't handle something new in their video game that they don't even have to play. They could just not play the game and it's fine. But no, they want to cry wah baby about it. They want to cry wah. Who cares? Who cares? It's a video game. Shut up. Shut up. God damn. It's wild that they have to do this. All right, last thing on the major news section, which is probably the last thing we're going to go over today, honestly. We're already at like 40-ish minutes. Pretty big though. A new industry-wide union has been launched for all American and Canadian developers. That's pretty fucking sick. This is Jason Finelli, VGC. Seems to be a new writer for the site. The Communications Workers of America Union has announced a new industry-wide union which anyone can join. Following its role in organized labor movements across multiple game development companies, including Activision, Microsoft, and Bethesda, among others, the CWA has announced United Video Game Workers, a direct join industry-wide video game union which launched during the Game Developers Conference this week. This week being this week. The 19th of March is when this story came out. The UVWCWA will include game industry workers from the US and Canada. Members will be collecting signatures demanding dignity and job security for all video game workers, particularly those facing layoffs. The creation of this union was not done in isolation. It's a cumulative effort by the thousands of video game workers who have been fighting for years to redefine what it means to stand together and reclaim power in one of the largest and highest grossing industries in the globe. Tom Smith, CWA's Senior Director of Organizing, said in the official announcement on the CWA website. These workers are taking a bold stand, joining together to build power for the workers behind the games that we all know and love. This is the logo. The UVWCWA. That's a lot of letters. The video games industry has lost over 25,000 jobs in the past 2 years, with 14,600 layoffs across the industry reported in 2024 alone. That's last year. The annual GDC State of the Industry report published back in January says that 11% of those who answered the annual survey reported being laid off in the past year. That's 1 of every 10, at least. Nearly 20% of those laid off were not given a reason as to why they were losing their jobs. The newly formed acronym mission statement states that the goal of the union is to create a game industry that works for us, one that nourishes its talent and invests in its future rather than constantly seeking short-term profits, which is exactly what's going on. The group will seek to link up arms with the laid off, with the freelancer, with the disillusioned contractor, with the disenfranchised and marginalized, with the workers laboring invisibly to keep the industry afloat. This is pretty fucking cool. Hopefully this means moving forward, once the majority of the business joins or is allowed to join, because I'm sure there are companies that'd be like, hey, you join that, you're fired. And then hopefully like next year, or even by the end of this year, the percentage of people being laid off is much lower. Or that we see an influx in workers that are being kept on for more than one project at a time, because that's getting more and more rare. Again, that was the last of the bigger news stories that we have listed here. There's about the same amount of smaller stories and then a bunch of chat picks, but we'll catch up with all that on Friday because it's just too much for one stream / video. And then we'll be caught up. We'll be caught up for about two weeks, maybe 3, and then we'll be gone again. F me. So that's gonna be it for this episode of Casual Gaming News. Not for this week, because we got another one coming this week. So I'll probably have this one up by Wednesday, and then Friday we do another one and have that one up probably by Monday evening, and then caught up for the most part. But yeah, that's it for this Casual Game News. You guys have been great. Thanks for hanging out. Check out the links in the chat. YouTube, Twitter, Discord, TikTok. One day we're gonna have some time. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.